All right, welcome to attempt 3 at my housing slash room search blog. It's Erin, obviously from Exposing Scammy Landlords. So I'm gonna give you a bit of an explanation about this. Like I said, this is the third attempt. Usually I end up just rambling too long. So I'm gonna try and read as succinct as possible. I am currently looking for a room to rent, and I thought I would document my search as both somebody who is on Ontario Works Assistance, waiting for Ontario Disability, hopefully, as well as running a small casual part-time karaoke and DJ service. With that, obviously, with COVID, events and venues have been shut down for over a year. So I have lost my clients, meaning that I have no actual paid gigs at the moment. And by clients, I mean venues, my regular karaoke night venues. I do still have my private event clients, but obviously they're not scheduling anything at the moment. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, I have to build my regular karaoke night venue database again, or get market again. So I'm doing a lot of unpaid administrative work because you don't get paid when you own your own business and you're not working, doing something like a gig if you're a DJ or whatever. Okay, so so yeah, like I said, I'm going to document this as somebody on assistance. So for disclosure, people on Ontario Works within the City of Toronto receive a maximum of $659 for your complete benefits. So that's about $390 for what's considered your shelter expenses, and then the rest for what's considered your basic needs. So as you can see, even at the full, even considering the full amount, it's not enough to rent an apartment. It's really not even enough anymore to rent a room. So $390 won't cover your shelter. There's nowhere at all that will cover that will accept $390, except for rent geared to income and social housing. And obviously, there's not enough of that. I'm on the Peel wait list, which is right now, and I literally just got approved for the wait list. I previously was on the approved to wait to be approved for housing, wait to be approved for approved housing. So I've been on the waiting list to get on the waiting list for 10 years. And finally last year when I was in the shelter, I got approved for it, but the wait is still 8 to 10 years. So yeah, it's basically a 20 to 25 year wait for housing in Peel region. It's about the same thing for Toronto. Yeah, so obviously that's out of the question until they actually start paying attention to housing and truly affordable housing for people, not quote unquote affordable housing. Let's go on and say that my maximum that I could pay is about $500. If I stretch it, I can go to 600 or 550, simply because at this time I do get a special diet because I am type 2 diabetic. And yeah, so that gives me an extra $80 a month. But again, I have other expenses to pay, such as phone. Yeah, and luckily I don't have to pay for internet. It's included at my current place. Yeah, so okay. So a little bit about why I actually have to start looking for a new place. This was always just meant to be a temporary situation. The person that I am actually paying rent to, she just contacted me simply because I was trans person in the shelter, and she understood how bad it was for somebody who's transgender. And yes, I identify as transgender feminine. Even though right now I don't look it. Please don't judge. Yeah, I'm just not, not feeling up to getting ready and presenting and doing all my makeup and all that other stuff. This is just me talking. Yeah, and I'm also looking as a transgender woman who has just started her transition. Yeah, that's why I look like this. I just just started transitioning last year. I haven't started any medical transitions. Yeah, I'm waiting for an endocrinologist for HRT and other stuff like that. So yeah, the idea behind this is to not only show the difficulty for somebody who is on assistance and somebody who identifies as transgender is part of the LGBTQIA TS plus community. So what happened? What's happening is what I'm going to be doing is just trying to do daily blog about my search and the results and stuff like that. So I did put out an ad on Facebook on several different buy and sell and housing and rental groups. Basically, I just copy pasted everything, the same ad several times. I'm also searching on Kijiji. I haven't posted a wanted there, but I will. So basically, a lot of this is going to be is at first just looking at the responses, seeing if anyone has any leads, anyone has posted that they have a place for rent, and so on and so forth. And then eventually we'll hopefully get into visiting, and I will share the experiences, and we'll take it from there. Okay. So this video is probably going to be a little longer than most because obviously I just went through that whole, I don't know how many minute preamble. So we're going to be looking at some of the Facebook posts and responses. I do have to give a major trigger warning for transphobia, trans violence, or violence and verbal violence against trans folk, possible against just general domestic violence and stuff like that. So please, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna look, I'm just gonna redo the ad quickly, and then we're gonna go through selected ones. I tried this already by reading all of them, but obviously it's way too long and really boring. Yeah. Okay, so here's what I posted. Trans woman seeking furnished room in Brampton for September, up to $500 a month. I am in a bit of an emergency crisis. Just found out that I have to move out around the 15th, before the end of the month at least. 45-year-old clean gal looking for a furnished room in the Brampton, Mississauga, or Toronto area, preferably Mississauga, Brampton. I run part-time karaoke disc jockey service company that supplement my income with Ontario Works, I'm waiting for the Ontario Disability Support Program. I don't have any pets, but I'm very pet friendly. I don't smoke, don't drink. Would prefer a smoke-free home as I have allergies and asthma, and I'm not vegan. Obviously, I just state that because certain room rentals aren't covered under any law, and they can openly discriminate against certain things. There's actually posts down here that I have replied to that actually go into details, but diet is one of them. They can dictate diet, so I just put that in there to avoid crap. Things I'm looking for, definitely need a place that is trans welcoming. Would like to have the ability to have my partner over, sometimes overnights, but not for long stays. I have mobility issues, though I do not use assistive devices. I have issues with my knees and would prefer first or second floor space, access to the kitchen as I'm diabetic. I can't just use a microwave in my room to make meals. And that is a thing. Some rentals don't, shared space rentals don't include the use of the kitchen. They'll just give you a microwave and a mini fridge. And so you're on your own. You're not allowed to access the kitchen. Some even restrict access to washrooms. They even say, hey, you can't use our washroom. There's a service station a block and a half away, because they want the money, but they don't want the interference with their daily lives. And of course, this is just an awful situation to be put in. If I can find those ads again, or find ads that are new with that in there, I will show them. We'll go over some of the ads on Kijiji as well. Okay, so access to Wi-Fi or internet access. I have support meetings on Zoom for being trans, social support groups and stuff like that. I don't care about cable or phone. Obviously, I have my own cell phone, and I don't really watch traditional cable television. I use streaming services. I pay for Prime, and share an account with my partner with that, and Netflix. Again, I'm karaoke junkie permanently, would need to practice. Though in exchange for this, I'd be willing to use my practice time to host karaoke parties for you and your guests. The max rent I could afford currently is $500 a month. I could push it to $600 to be, or like I said, I could push it to $550, but that's leaving me with a lot of, skipped meals and stuff like that. If anyone knows anyone looking to rent a room, please let me know. And then, of course, the first comment is this real, and Mr. Steven here, as I call him, I have had major fights with him on other forums. He is a extreme misogynist and transphobe. I believe he's also a landlord, and we've had fights about the Ontario the Exposing Some Landlords project that I run, and him having issues with why I'm not supporting landlords, and why that group is not addressing landlord issues. And of course, it's because landlords have a ton of resources out there. Tenants don't. The YouTube channel that I run that's tenant specific is the only one that's being run regarding housing and tenants' rights in Ontario. So yeah, so yes, it is. Oh, somebody's just, okay, so here's somebody who's actually helping. This woman, I love this because she, she was, no, she posted this and then turned right around. I didn't swear at her before she decided to get transphobic. This is one, now this is a long one here. We're not going to go through everything. That was a reply to a dirty delete. So yes, she was wondering why I'm posting such a sob story in revealing my trans status and confusing gender identity with sexuality. Stating because a little thing called transphobia, ever heard of it? Would you want to live with somebody who hates some aspect about you or deal with hate while looking? Since I'm looking for a room in the RTA, and she was trying to explain to me all that the laws regarding the RTA, and obviously she doesn't know the RTA because she would know that if she knew the RTA, she would know that shared accommodations with the person you're paying rent to, if you're sharing a kitchen or bathroom, is exempt from the Residential Tenancies Act as well as the Ontario Human Rights Code. So do not apply. And discrimination is legal. I'm sharing my gender identity, not my sex, and I'm sharing my gender identity, not my sexuality. This is not a sob story. It's me being honest. I don't want to live in shared accommodations at all, but since it's all I can afford, I definitely don't want to live in shared accommodations with somebody who's transphobe. Obviously there was a dirty delete there. Yeah, this comment by RJ is replying to something that has been deleted, replying to something that has been deleted. You know, why are you, I'm seeing a trans person wants to live in a house that doesn't hate them for who they are. Yeah, Terry and Erin is the trans person and you're arguing with the mole. Oh, okay. Damn, because that was a great comment. She basically was like asking me why I didn't want to rent a room to a trans person, and she basically told me to fuck off with my transphobia. We'll find if it's further down here my response. Why are you saying them? Why not her? Who cares? I use they, them pronouns as well as she, her. I'm very confused. This I haven't seen yet, so you must be confused. Just stop it. Okay. Yeah, so basically, yeah, my response was, I'm not the one renting the room. I'm the one doing the seeking. And I'm not espousing transphobia by saying I want to live in a place that's trans inclusive. I'm not saying I don't want to live with, I'm not saying that I don't want to live with a trans person because trans people are espouse some transphobic comment here. Should have spent. Looks like you, yeah, see, you should have spent your money properly. No one's going to put up with your crap. Like, I've never disclosed anything about money. I'm not in arrears. I'm not, it's not anything to do with finances. It's simply that I have to move. The space is not big enough for 3 people. We came to agree on, and so on and so forth. So what are you on about? So I'm not, so you're not going to get any sort of understandable comment from them. Finding Lisa, this is, I call her Lisa the fart, or, fart, feminist appropriating radical transphobe. Just because your sexuality, well, you're into guys, right? And you've become a woman, right? As far as I can tell, that makes you straight. You're a straight woman now. My response is, Lisa the fart, nowhere did I say my preference about who I'm attracted to. Never disclose my sexuality or disclose my gender identity. For the reason I have stated, I'm not going to disclose my sexuality or preference because it's no one's business. And she's posted some, oh, there it is. Nowhere did I mention my sexuality, I just, my gender identity, for which me is important because I'm looking for a room that will be likely in shared accommodations, and I don't want to deal with transphobia from those I'm living with. Or how about when I show up for a viewing to fill out a rental application or agreement? I could face physical and verbal violence. And this is to the dirty delete. I'm not looking to rent a room I own. Read the fucking post. I'm the one seeking a room, and I disclose that I'm trans to avoid transphobia. Okay, yeah. I was actually on your side, you a-hole. You actually thanked me for one of my posts done defending people on your side. Really can't stand when somebody can't clarify before swearing. I'm sorry, I'm part Newfoundlandese. I was raised up in a family that every other word was fuck. And to me, that's part of my language. Obviously, I don't use those words around kids. I try not to use them in public, but yeah. Yeah. Oh, now I will tell my friend who lives in Toronto with a room to ignore my post. Yeah, that's complete bullshit. She doesn't have a friend, obviously, or she would have posted that earlier. Hey, I'm gonna pass on your information. Blah blah blah. Carrie. So again, response. I don't. You don't get a fucking badge of honor for doing the bare minimum of speaking out against ignorance. An ally doesn't need to be rewarded or praised in order to be on our side. You're a weirdo with a savior complex. Oh boy, this is a long one. Maybe I'll read it myself later. Okay, again, if I'm never completely unhelpful, I don't have any leads, but I want to say a hope. Again, thank you so much for all the well wishes. But well wishes are like prayers. It's the bare minimum. It's the least you can do without actually doing anything at all. So yeah, and it obviously when I first posted, when I saw responses, I was like, oh, responses, maybe somebody's got a room for me or that I can go see or whatever. Obviously not. You may want to join Ontario Tenants' Rights. I am a member of Ontario Tenants' Rights. I have been for a very long time. Helping with the need. Unsure if this is an illegal eviction. You want more info about the situation group. This group is great advice. Yes, it is a legal eviction because it's shared accommodation. There's no laws governing eviction under shared accommodations. Again, the exemption from the Residential Tenancies Act makes it, and I agree, it's a temporary living situation. I agreed to it. I just didn't think it would be so soon. But because the roommate that's coming home from the States was going to be staying in the States longer than then obviously it has happened. So so yeah, with shared accommodations, there is no law governing the amount of time having to give a boarder or renter in that situation for eviction. They can give you 24 hours notice. They can give you 2 hours notice. They can tell you to get the hell out right now. And they have every right to. And if you refuse, they can call the cops, because at that point you're trespassing, and then the cops can literally physically remove you. Okay. So I'm sure someone might have said something here, but okay. What does this mean? You're bigoted, gross. Okay, I'm gonna reply to that later, because you're right doesn't mean you need to be a dick about it. Incredibly confused. See, so yeah, Freddie here is a misogynistic transphobe. He's misgendering me. He's trying to force people to misgender me by trying to correct my pronouns. Yeah. So yeah, this guy's another one, which is why I gave that trigger warning. No, when you get you're transphobic, but it's pathetic. You're so proud of it. And there's the first one, ladies and gentlemen, the first helicopter meme reference. So overrated and long dated. Go back to 2016, Freddie. Yeah, so yeah, Angela's right. It's a room. It's not enforced by the RTA, so that wouldn't be helpful. Rooms are covered. No, they're not. So I'm going to pause recording here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some responding, and then I'll be right. So I'm back. I didn't really do much replying. I did realize that the person talking about rooms are covered under the RTA is referring to rooming houses where the landlord does, or a person you're paying rent to does not live on the premises. And yes, that's true. Those style rentals are still covered under the RTA, but you're not going to know whether or not it's that situation till you get there. It's also still, you know, a problem if you're transgender, if the other people in the rooming house have transphobic views. So, and my original post still applies. And the person that asked me said, "Oh, you have too many demands and ridiculous demands." I just outright asked them, "What ridiculous demands did I make?" And that's Mr. Tim here. So I'm back. He's posted, when it's so easy to make fun of somebody, you're absolutely clueless prick of a man. Laughing my ass off, but no, this could have been as easy as I need a place to stay. I have $500 around. The rest is just stupid. Look at look at me, please, attention bullshit. Do I care? It's not. No, it's my. Do I care? No, it's my life. No. Yeah, this he says no frigging typing skills at all. His punctuation and syntax are just out. No, no. Do I make them wrong for who they are? No, but definitely a plea for attention. You're trans, great, cool. It isn't the point. Just yeah, case in point. Highly rated. Okay. Uh, the rest is to weed out assholes like you. Elena is absolutely right. I'm going to give her a big, big, big care hug. Right. I'm an asshole for acknowledging the plea for attention. I'm not seeking attention. I'm seeking a room to live where I will be safe. Jay Davis, absolutely. If your intention was to make fun of her or draw attention to her in a negative way, then that's exactly what you were behaving like. Don't worry, though. I was an asshole when I was your age too. Once you have a better grasp of the human condition, it'll develop. Oh yeah, just. So how so? They're just telling things up front. Some people could be clearly uncomfortable with. Look at this thread. I agree that there are some that could be opposite because this person exists. I don't hate the person for being trans at all. Yeah, you do, because you're saying that it's an attention-seeking ploy. I'm laughing at the thin and pointing out the obvious. I'm sure they're a wonderful person, but this was just cancer. No, I'm very proficient in the human condition. I studied a lot about biology. In fact, gender dysphoria is horrible, and I cannot begin to imagine the struggle, but it makes a mockery of what trans people, but this makes a mockery of what trans people have to go. No, it doesn't. How does it make it? How does this make a said, just look at the comments. Okay, let me just fix obviously, because, okay, let's go back up. But this is a mockery. If you're trans, the point is that you are just the gender you say you are. You're a male, female, you're a woman, call yourself a woman. That's my first point. Then the post borders on insane, very logically. I'll look at the little rant you posted about how successfully chonky Ed Sheeran is. I'm sorry my comment triggered you a little, buddy, but in safe space now. And Ed Sheeran, unsuccessful. Depressed Ed Sheeran don't feel. I don't know what they're referring. Why they're referring to Ed Sheeran? Literally, people saying they're transfers looking for a place to live to ensure that they don't end up stuck in living in a transphobic place. Being clear is about who you are and what you need in a living space isn't cancer. And mocking somebody for looking for a space that makes you the person who is desperate for attention. And then mine there, didn't comment. You must be a left. Yeah. Tool. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna try to finish this section, this one, and then we'll go on to another one on another video. I'm gonna try to make them fairly short. Why does it matter if she's trans? By the way, I think your whole existence is hilarious. People try to kill trans people just for existing. She wasn't begging for attention. She was making sure anyone who had a room wasn't going to be the type of person that hates her for who she is. Don't act all moral and logical when you're just being butthurt. Thank you, Kyle. I hate this having to click multiple times to bring up. Okay. No, hun. He's got it right. He says you're correcting his spelling of your. He's literally got the correct one. The one he's trying to say is right is the possessive, and the one that Kyle used was the correct contraction of you are. So logical when you are just being butthurt. So yeah, your entire comment makes it even more stupid. The point is, why the fuck is that the opening just exists? No one cares if you're trans or have a partner over, unless you're subleasing, then you don't get to say blah, blah, blah. See, so again, Mr. Tim thinks that I would be only looking for a rooming house, and that, yeah, that wouldn't matter if I was looking for just a rooming house. But again, no one cares if you're trans. Yeah, obviously a lot of people do. Just read the transphobic comments from Lisa the Fart, yourself, Freddie there. No one cares. Tolerate your values. Sorry, just got from my partner. And then no one has to tolerate your values. It's common knowledge that you are hard pressed to find an apartment anywhere for 500, let alone with it. And there it is. I don't have a problem with trans people, but I'm going to misgender them with all his bullshit nonsense. And it's not bullshit nonsense. Why? Okay, Kyle, again, thank you so much. Just huge love, huge love, huge love. Thank you. Yeah. You clearly care. Also, at least 10 people on this thread are furious at her just for being alive. She shouldn't have to mention it, but she does. Entire comment opening exists. Yeah, okay, this is his grammar and spelling. Also, after you don't get to say that grammar, by the way, There should be a period and a new paragraph. Oh, Kyle, I love you. I love you. Um, that's great, thanks. The whole point of the post is to look like a joke or announce that they are trans and have a partner, totally irrelevant to the actual question, which is ridiculous. In search of main floor room with rent for $500 or less, including internet and utilities. Okay, yes, I could have not disclosed my physical restrictions. The trans shed is no one's business. No, it's not. Yeah, it's no one's business, but it's going to be. It's going to be an issue. Trans folks are still discriminated against everywhere, as are queer folks. It shouldn't be anybody's business, but in the society we currently live in, it is their business, because obviously you've read the trans hate. But this is what they not all do. Again, there's his transphobia coming through. I've had trans friends and treated them with dignity and respect, or whatever they want to be, and whatever the hell they want to be called, but didn't even think and didn't even think about it. Yeah, I'm sure that's true, because they didn't bring it up. Why the fuck would you invite that? You're trans and truly want to be a woman as a biological man. Transphobia is going through there. Why would you throw that out? First word on your post. There's zero influence. Look at Black Lives Matter, a fabrication of mass systematic racism. Aha, and he's also racist. Doesn't that surprise everyone? No, it doesn't. It's the same thing when you lead with something that's completely stupid. You open the door to comments, good and bad. Guess what? It's free speech, and you don't have the right to suppress anyone in an open platform. As much as this man who wants to be a woman has the same rights to say whatever he or she wants, the same right would be shown to the stupid idiots that want him or her dad, but that's not right. You hold a double standard. And no, yes, we have freedom of speech here. What we do have limitations on free speech, though. And one of them is hate speech, promoting violence, promoting hatred against a group, any group, including white men. But you can have your shitty opinions as well. You can say, I don't like trans people, I hate trans people. You shouldn't like them either, and that's all fine and good. But other people who think that that is a shitty opinion have the right to say it's a shitty opinion. I'm 100% not transphobic. I'm stupid phobic. Not a single thing. The ad was related to them being trans. It's related to the OP being stupid. Clearly, haven't tried to look, or has looked and failed and hasn't bothered to try to change anything. Thank you for defending as an admirer. Okay. You think you need to, I think you need to reread the post. She clearly said she didn't care about internet or cable, that she was hoping for a main or second floor due to mobility issues, and that she was trans and was looking to have her partner come for visits, which a lot of people renting rooms do not allow overnight guests. Not that she had a partner. Uh, okay, if I'm renting out a room, which I have offered, I certainly want to know the person's gender, that they will offer to know that they will often have an overnight guest. I was looking to say for a room. If I was looking for a room, I'd include that info. You should settle down. Um, the partner part is the only good mention. Why is anyone's business, whether you're a man or a woman? Okay, maybe we'll just do a part two of this. So I'm gonna stop and we'll go on and do part two in a bit. I'm just gonna take a little break.